Grant was so focused on making the attack fast, making it quick, they never had any time to create scaling ladders.
They should have thought of that.
They should have.
So they're like fish in a barrel now.
They're stuck.
How you doing? I'm good, how are you? Okay, thank you.
Back in 1863, your ancestors, Fred and his brothers, are in this spot with the 83rd Indiana.
And they fought here?
They fought here.
Wow.
The campaign to take Vicksburg was vastly more important. The victory would open the way for further Union invasion of the southern states and be a death knell for the Confederacy.
So this was the pivotal battle?
That's right.
Okay.
In front of you would have been the Confederate lines, defending the outskirts of the city of Vicksburg. See that triangular-shaped fort?
Yeah, that big bump.
That's right. That's called Stockade Redan. Grant's of the mindset that if he can strike hard and fast at the Confederate positions, he can break through the defenses and take the city of Vicksburg quickly without having to resort to a siege.
So he's confident he can puncture a hole here?
That's right.
Okay.
It was a formidable obstacle they were facing. You see the Redan today?
Yeah.
It was twice that size back then. It was 17 feet tall. Behind it were 300 Confederate soldiers and another 1,000 troops on both sides. Furthermore, down at the bottommost end of that gully, the Confederates felled trees, sharpened the ends of them to slow down advancing troops. And in between the trees, they tied telegraph wire to prevent them from moving up against that hill.
Okay.
The important thing to remember, too, is that Fred and his brother were corporals. And corporals had an important assignment within the Army. They were assigned to make sure that once the attack begins, it's not to stop until the Redan is taken or they're forced to fall back.
And would Valentine, as a private, be going in before the corporals?
Oh, no,
or everybody's
all in one
fighting
solid
together?
line.
Everybody's
That's right.
together. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Come the afternoon, May 19th, 1863, 3 cannon shots went off in a row. That was the signal to make the charge.
Boom, boom, boom.
All of a sudden, a great yell emanating from the Union line as the troops would have surged over the ridge.
Screaming and shooting.
That's right. The Confederates behind the Redan are lying low. They know what's coming. They're biding their time, waiting to fire until they can get the best shots in. Fred would have been yelling, encouraging them, keep moving, keep moving. At a distance about 80 yards in front of the Redan, the whole line behind the Redan would have rised up as one and fired a rifle volley into the Indiana troops. Many soldiers in the first ranks would have fallen over, dead or wounded.
Wow.
The troops would have gone down into the next gully. There at the bottom of the ravine, that's where all those fallen trees and telegraph wire was.
Right.
The troops would have been tangled up in that, had to cut their way through that.
Wow.
As they move up toward the Redan, they're coming up, but here's the problem. They don't have any way to scale the Redan. Grant was so focused on making the attack fast, making it quick, they never had any time to create scaling ladders.
They should have thought of that.
They should have.
So they're like fish in a barrel now.
They're stuck. Your ancestors, Fred and his brothers, are stuck on the battlefield in front of the Redan. They are lucky in one regard. The Redan was so big that from where they're at, the Confederates now can't see the Union troops. In order for them to shoot the Union troops, they would have to climb to the top of the Redan.
And aim down.
And aim down,
Right.
which makes them perfect targets.
How did that resolve itself?
Fred and his brothers are out on the side of the Redan, waiting and waiting, until finally it was the cover of darkness. And with darkness out there, they were finally able to slip back to Union lines without being shot.
Okay, but Grant's upset because we haven't done what we came here
That's right.
to do.
That's right. So he made an order to take it again.
Oh, good.
3 days later, same principle. We're going to take the Redan, but this time,
Let's bring a ladder.
ladders and 5 times more cannon. And he sent twice as many troops forward. He still didn't take it. Same problem. They couldn't scale the Redan. The defenses were just too strong.
Right. Wow.
The worst part was the bodies from the first assault were still left out there.
Right.
They had to march and run past their wounded or dead comrades 3 days later to try to take the Redan. Even when they retreated the second time, the wounded were still left out on the field.
Oh, a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
And do we know that my grandbrothers survived?
Here, we have their service records for this point in the battle.
Yeah, Frederick, May, June. Yep, they're present. Let me see
So.
more here. Okay. John, Corporal John, May and June, present.
There's Valentine.
Good, he made it. Private Valentine is still here. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so far so good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just happy they survived. So, Grant still doesn't have what he needs.
Grant still doesn't have what he needs. After 2 days of hard and bitter fighting, he finally came to the idea, well, I will, in his words, outcamp the enemy. He's got more troops. He's got the city surrounded. He's going to lay siege to the city and force them to either surrender or starve.
And how long did that go on?
From May until finally 1st of July, General John C. Pemberton, the Confederate commander, he realizes his soldiers have had enough. They're starving. And on July 4th, 1863, a surrender is signed. The Confederates march out of their entrenchments, and Grant finally has the city of Vicksburg.
Wow.
Another major battle was going on at the same time, the Battle of Gettysburg.
Oh my God, it's
So
it's the same time.
That's right, it got a lot more press, even though in the long run, Vicksburg was a much more strategically important campaign. It closed down the Mississippi River to the Confederacy. And for Fred and his brothers, this would be the battle they would talk about that won the Civil War.
Right. So this was the pivotal battle, but Abe showed up at the other one, gave a short speech, and they got all the attention.
They got a lot more attention.
And how much longer did the war go after this?
Another 2 years.
Another 2 years.
And Fred and his brothers enlisted in '62. So this is only 1 year into their enlistment.
Right.